Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of It's Crystal Clear, a show that's designed to tell your money where to go instead of always wondering where it went. My name is Felicia Young, and as always, I want to thank you for allowing me to help you along your journey to become financially healthy and free. So today's episode is called Do It For You. In this episode, I will discuss how your physical health and your financial health work together. In school, I learned about the systems of the body. We have 11. We have the skeletal system, we have the muscular system, we have the nervous system, we have the endocrine system, we have the cardiovascular system, the lymphatic system, the respiratory system, the digestive system, the urinary system, and the reproductive system. So, all of those systems work together to perform various functions that our body needs to operate and keep us in good health. So, all the systems except the reproductive systems are vital to keeping us alive. So, in order for the system to do their job, we must do our jobs. We must eat the nutrients our body needs, and we need to exercise to keep our bodies nice and strong. But a lot of times, we're so busy being busy that we miss doing one or both of those things on a consistent basis. Our health is failing because of it, whether we know it or not. And it's going to cost us a lot in the long run if we don't make time to address those things now. So, a few years ago, before COVID hit, I was having a lot of health problems. I went to my doctor to get checked out, and the test results showed that I had tumors on one of my organs, and I needed to have the organs removed in order to make the tumors go away. The doctor prescribed the process, he described the process of the procedure. He scheduled the surgery to happen immediately. And I'm not a doctor. I know I'm not, but it was just something off about his description of the process. And it just didn't sit well with me. I can't describe what it was, but it was just something odd. So I chose to believe that it was God talking to me, telling me to get a second opinion. So I was referred to another doctor, and he looked at the lab reports from the previous doctor. He said I did indeed need the surgery, but it wouldn't be as evasive as the previous doctor wanted. So the new doctor said, however, there was no way that I could have that surgery now because the lab results showed that I had major problems with another system of my body. And that if I were to go under anesthesia and if I had the surgery, it would be a high possibility that I wouldn't heal correctly. And it would be a high possibility that I simply wouldn't wake up. Side note, I need you all to make sure the doctors you go to are competent. I need you to make sure you look into their backgrounds and reviews from other patients. And it's okay to ask for a second opinion if you're having a feeling that the diagnosis or the treatment suggested may not work in your best interest. And no, you're not a doctor, but I do believe that God will give you the unction or the feeling inside to know when something just isn't right. Now back to my story. So my new doctor, he explained my lab results in detail. He made time to make sure I understood what was going on with my systems. He told me he would not perform the surgery on me until I got the other issues taken care of. So he wanted me to be strong enough to recover from the surgery. So he sent me to different specialists to get completely checked out and to get a game plan in place to get me stronger. So I had to go to this doctor and that doctor week after week to monitor me and make sure I was progressing well. I was prescribed medications to correct this. I was prescribed medications to improve that, to knock this off, add this in. I was at the pharmacy so much to where they knew my name very well. So each time I went to a doctor's appointment, I had to swipe for my copay. Each time I went to the pharmacy, I had to swipe to buy my medicines. And I am so thankful that I have insurance to cover me because I started calculating the cost of all of my out of pocket expenses to those doctor's visits and all my out of pocket expenses to get those prescriptions. And if I did not have insurance, oh my God, there would be no way that I can afford to get well. So one day I had an appointment with my cardiologist, who is simply amazing. So he scheduled a cardiac stress test for me. where I was to run on a treadmill for different periods of time. I know that I'm not athletic. I know that I don't exercise like I should. So I knew running on a treadmill, that was something that I would not be good at. So the nurses got me strapped up. They got me on the treadmill and they told me to start running. Y'all, my heart was pounding so fast. So I knew I would have a heart attack at any minute. So they stopped the treadmill and they let me catch my breath. Then they told me to get back on and start to run again. This time, do it a little longer. Y'all, I wanted to cry. I started running and I promise my heart climbed out of my chest and went sat down on that chair and it was looking at me like, what we doing? What is this? So I had to do several sessions of running and stopping, running and stopping, running and stopping. And I knew that they were about to send me straight to the hospital because of the way my heart was pounding. After that, I had to get a 3D image of my heart. That was really cool to see. So I actually saw my heart. I saw it beating. I saw the red blood vessels, I saw the blue blood vessels, and I saw the blood pumping back and forth from my heart. It was so cool. So, my doctor described everything I was seeing and the test results from me running on the treadmill. He said that my heart was working just fine, and the only thing I needed to do was to start conditioning it. So that meant that I had to start exercising in order to make it stronger. So he wrote me another prescription to help with something else. And I told him that I was tired of getting prescriptions and I was tired of taking pills and I was tired of paying so much for medicines and all those the doctor's visits. And I asked him, what could I do to just simply change that? So he gave me a smile and he said, Felicia, exercise every day, 1 hour every single day. I want you to eat like this. And he gave me details of what would work for my situation. And I want you to be sure to sleep because my body needed time to heal itself without being interrupted by my busy schedule. So I went to the pharmacy to get my prescription filled and I asked the pharmacist the same thing. And I honestly was shocked that she gave me the exact same answer. So I had to have that surgery. I had no choice about that. And I knew in order to have it that I had to make time to listen to what my doctors were telling me to do. I had to listen to what the pharmacist told me to do. So I did. And I was very intentional about my meals. I made time to exercise daily. I did my best to stop working at a certain time and just rest. My doctor wanted me to do it consistently for a certain amount of time before he would check me again and to reschedule that surgery. So after that time frame passed, I had more lab results done. And y'all, I did it. I hit my numbers and I was so proud. My results showed that I lowered and raised everything I needed to in order to have that surgery. So while I was recovering, I was curious to know exactly how much money I spent going to doctors, receiving treatments, getting those prescriptions, everything that it cost that was associated with me getting well enough to have that surgery. Y'all, when I saw that total, I was so irritated. I was so mad at myself. I'm glad that I had the insurance and I'm glad I had the money to pay for it. I'm thankful. I really, really am. And I'm thankful for the team of doctors who got me well. I really am thankful for all of that. However, the amount of money that I had to spend for that blew my mind. And I was mad at myself for getting into that situation to begin with. So I honestly had no idea that particular choices that I made over the years affected my body the way that it did. I had no idea that this system was affected by that system. And if that other system isn't acting right, it throws all the systems out of place. And the cost to put them all back together, y'all, it was a nice size price tag. So the condition of my health definitely played a factor with my wealth. So that is what we're going to discuss today. Taking the steps to improve your health in order for you to improve your finances. So your lives are busier now than ever before. You may not pay attention to what you eat or how often you eat, or you may not pay attention to the nutritional value of your meals. You drink a lot of alcohol. Sometimes it's to simply numb yourselves to cope with the demands placed on you, or it could be just for leisure. You smoke cigarette after cigarette after cigarette. The most you exercise could be from your car to your office at work. You get winded when you're walking upstairs. You looked at your latte factor and you saw that you drink close to a case of soda every single day. And you avoid fruits and you avoid vegetables like they are the plague. So every one of those decisions affect the systems in your body one way or another, and definitely is putting a dent in your bank account. So I want you to make time to calculate how much you spent in the last 6 months on doctor's visits and medication. How does your health affect your wealth? Number one, the sugars, the carbs, the processed foods, the sodium, the alcohol, the cigarettes, the pills, everything affects your organs and they are a factor to diseases. Your liver gets poisoned. Your kidneys can't filter. The vessels to your heart, they start to clog. The blood that's circulating starts to slow down. Your weight starts to increase. You're feeling sluggish. You're feeling tired. And you're simply not functioning like you should. So, although you should go to the doctor to get regular checkups to make sure you're healthy, you shouldn't have to go so often because of choices that you are making that's not in your best interest. Two, your health insurance rates are affected by the condition of your health. That list of questions that's asked determines your risk of how often you will have to visit the doctor or how often that you have to receive treatments. And you're going to have to pay a hefty price when you have to meet your deductibles and when you have to reach your copay and the out-of-pocket expenses not covered by your insurance, or the amount of money you have to pay out of pocket if you don't have insurance. That scenario that I just described right there, that has caused a lot of people to face financial ruins just because they want to get well. Number three, life insurance policies. So in a previous episode, I talked about making sure you leave an inheritance for your children's children. And one way to do that is through life insurance policies. But in order to get a life insurance policy in place, you have to get a physical, you have to have blood drawn, you have to give urine samples, and they want to see what condition your body is in. So if you are a smoker or you drink lots of alcohol, if you have diabetes, if you've had a stroke, your premiums that you'll have to pay will be expensive. And in some cases, the insurance companies can deny you altogether. So in the most blunt words that I can possibly say, the reason for this is the insurance companies have to factor in the probability of you dying to show them if they have to pay your heirs sooner or if they'll pay them later. They're not trying to pay your heirs sooner. That's making them lose money. So they can easily make the money higher or they'll deny you altogether. Number four, your job. Depending on where you work, you get sick pay. A certain amount of days you get paid if you have to take off work. When you go over those days, your paycheck will reflect it big time. And if you're budgeting and you're living off what you're making from working an 80-hour pay period and you're already living paycheck to paycheck, you're definitely going to be in trouble when your check comes up short. Number five, your bank account. So let's say you went through your latte factor and saw that you smoke a pack of cigarettes a day, or you drink a case of soda a day, or you drink alcohol every time you go out, or you buy takeout every day of the week, or you buy groceries and you don't make time to cook any of the food and you have to throw the food out because they got rotted or they spoiled. Every one of those things costs you big time. So we're going to use cigarettes for an example. So a pack of cigarettes range from $6 to $9 a pack, and you're smoking a pack every single day. At the end of the year, you would have spent between $2,200 and $3,300 on cigarettes. And the cost over time is more because of how it affects your systems in your body and the treatments you'll have to have because of it. You have to ask yourself if it's worth your money and is it worth your health to puff on cigarettes. So if cigarettes aren't your thing, okay, is it worth your money and is it worth your health to do that thing that is harming you and your body over time? You have to understand how important it is to prioritize your physical, prioritize your mental, prioritize your spiritual, and your financial health. In a previous episode, I said that we were created to fulfill the 3 C's: the Great Commandment, which is to love God, ourselves, and one another; the Great Commission, which is to go and tell anyone who can hear you about God; and the Great Calling, which are particular gifts given to each one of you by God. So, by not taking care of your physical body, you are limiting yourselves in what you have been commanded to do. So, since you're on a path of improving your financial health, you're going to start improving your physical health too. We're going to do this in order to better use your money. So, I mentioned at the beginning of this episode that we are made up of systems. Remember, the skeletal system, the muscular system, the nervous system, the endocrine system, the cardiovascular system, the lymphatic system, the respiratory system, the digestive system, the urinary system, and the reproductive system. Those are all very important systems in our lives. All of those systems work together to make you have the ability to experience life and experience it to the fullest. The same goes for your financial health and your physical health. They work together to help you live your life to the fullest. So, what can you do to help your financial health and to help your physical health work together? I'm glad you asked. But before I give you my suggestions, I want to say this to you. I know there are some health problems that you may have that is out of your control. I am very aware that there are some diseases that are just simply hereditary. I am aware of cold and flu season. I am well aware that sometimes you just get sick. Y'all, I promise, I am aware and I got that. But there are some illnesses and there are some diseases that you're being diagnosed with because of poor choices that you are making for yourself. But what we're going to do, we're going to change that today, right? So I don't want you to beat yourself up over the past choices that you made. I really want you to give yourself grace. And you're going to do just like you did for your finances. The first thing you're going to do is to make time to see what you need to do in order to have a healthier body. So, number one, make up your mind that you're going to prioritize yourself. How many of you are the person that everyone goes to for help? And you make time to bail everyone else out whenever they're in trouble? A lot of you. How many of you make time to make sure everyone else has everything they need to live a great life? A lot of us do. How many of you give your last dime or the clothes off your back to make sure everyone else survives? A lot of us do. But my question is, when are you going to use that same energy for yourself? You simply cannot continue to give everyone else 100% of you when you only have 2% left to give. Y'all, your physical and mental system cannot logically function like that. So I want you to make time to write down what you need to do to carve out appropriate time for yourself. And it's okay to designate the amount of time that you will give to others. Others don't need to have all your time. You only have one body and you only have one life, and you have to manage its use accordingly. So, number two, I really want y'all to make time to exercise. And I know you're saying, I don't have time for that. But I'm telling you, you cannot afford not to do it. Remember when I had you review the 3 months of your bank statements to see where you spent all of your money? I want you to do this exact same thing with your time. So you don't even have to go back 3 months. Don't even go back 3 months. Most of us can't even remember what we did yesterday, so that's okay. So what I want you to do is to make time to discover, what do you do with 24 hours that you're given by God each and every day? So how many hours are you just scrolling online? How many hours? How much time are you spending on the phone gossiping? How much time are you spending online shopping? That should be very limited because right now you're not supposed to be shopping, right? We got goals that we're trying to hit. How much time do you spend binge watching show after show after show after show? How much time do you spend doing anything productive? How much time do you spend doing anything unproductive? So now that you're looking at what you do in a day, some of that stuff that you listed, couldn't you have used that to make time to exercise just for an hour? Yeah, you sure could have. So I know in previous episodes, I said to cancel gym memberships, especially if you're not even going enough to make the money make sense. There are plenty of other ways to exercise where it's not costing you a monthly membership fee. There are plenty other creative ways. So if you live where it's pretty, you can make time to go outside, walk, jog, run, ride a bike, skate. You can do all kind of stuff outside. There are plenty of physical activities that you can do just to get your systems healthy. So if you don't like going outside, okay, I got you. But you got a TV in the house, and I'm sure you have access to cable channels like YouTube. There are hundreds of exercise videos that will help you to get in shape. You can exercise with them first thing in the morning, or you can make time to exercise right before bed at night. And you don't have to worry about spending gas to get to your living room or your bedroom. So essentially, what I'm saying is that you have no excuse not to get physically active, right? Okay. So there are plenty of options for you to choose from. You just need to find what'll work best for you. The choice is up to you. But I want you to make time to spend at least an hour investing in your physical health. So, number 3, I need you to make better choices with your meals and the things that you drink. So, just like your car, your body needs the right fuel to keep it going. So, if you go to the gas station to fill up and your car takes unleaded gas and you accidentally put in diesel gas, guess what's going to happen? What do you think is about to happen to your car? So I'm sure that it will be a very high mechanic bill attached to it to get it cleaned out. That same concept is true for your body. It's true for your body. If you constantly put the wrong food and if you constantly put the wrong drinks in your body, really, what do you think will happen to it? And over time, those unnecessary doctor bills and prescription costs, they're going to start adding up tremendously. So I need you to pay attention to the fuel that you put inside of your body. In previous episodes, we talked about spending too much money on eating out. Some people said to me, well, they get groceries and they cook their meals at home. That's how they're going to start saving on their money. There are pros and cons to both. There's pros and cons to both for you physically and for you financially. So if you go out to eat, where are you going? What restaurants are you going to? Are they fast food restaurants or do they serve greasy food? Or are they high carb food, high fat food, or no nutrition food at all? So it doesn't matter if it's cheap food or expensive food if it's the wrong food. The cost of those choices are too high. Okay, so if you choose to cook your meals at home instead, that's great. You want to meal prep? Do it. But the question I have is, what groceries are you buying? Are you buying a lot of processed food? Are you cooking a lot of fried food? Do you have a pantry full of unhealthy snacks? What about high sugar juices? Do you ever take time to look at the label to see what options are best for you and your family? And if you spend money to buy all those groceries and you just let them sit in the fridge or you just let them be stored up in the pantry and they spoil and rot, how much money did you waste? So my point is, whether you budget to eat in or you budget to eat out, you have to be selective with what you're drinking and you have to be selective with what you're eating and be mindful of what you have available at home so you won't waste money. So your meal choices they really do have a direct effect on you physically and it has an effect on you financially. So, living a healthy lifestyle could help prevent chronic diseases, it can help chronic illnesses. Feeling good about yourself and taking care of your health is very, very, very important. You all know that. You made time to get on the road to financial freedom, to do what you want to do, when you want to do it, within budget. You're sacrificing your latte factors. You're sticking to your budget. You're saving your money. You're writing your vision. You're making it plain. So, what sense does it make to spend all that time to get your finances straight only to have to use that money on extensive doctor's visits, prescription med after prescription med, hospital stay after hospital stay, when you could have prevented some of your illnesses and diseases by focusing on your physical health now? I really want you all to be strong. Yes, in your finances, but especially in your body. I want every single day that God has you scheduled to be on this earth to be days that are able to be enjoyed actively. I know you can do it. I see you doing it with your finances. So I know if you focus, you can do it with your body as well. So my thing is, if you don't do it for anything else, anyone else, I want you to do it for you. You are worth your own investment. So that ends this week's episode. Yay. I want to thank you for watching and being a part of the ICC family. I'm really enjoying hearing about all the progress that you all are making, and I look forward to hearing many, many more. As always, I want to thank my behind the scenes team for making this podcast betterer and betterer each time we record. And I want to be sure that you share and turn on your notifications of this podcast so you won't miss any of these episodes. It's Crystal Clear Podcast. It's on YouTube, it's on Spotify, and it's on Apple. So until next time, I want you to dream big. I want you to stay focused. And I want you to live your best life in budget. I look forward to seeing you next time on It's Crystal Clear. Have a great week.